When couples are expecting a child, they always hope for the best, but it doesn't always turn out that way. Have you ever seen real Siamese twins? If you want to see some exceptional cases of twins, keep watching as we count down 15 of the most unbelievable babies that are real. Number 15. Kendra and Maliyah Herrin were born with their abdomens fused together, sharing a pelvis, kidney and liver, and controlling one leg each. They were separated at the age of 4 by a team of 6 doctors and 25 support staff in a 26-hour surgery. The Herrin sisters claim to know other people with impairments who have been bullied, including a pair of once conjoined twins who were teased because they only have one leg each. Their own experience has been far more pleasurable. They claim that other teenagers rarely exclude them, in part because they grow up in the same neighborhood and attend the same ward of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, so they have a strong network. They form a close circle with a girl they've known since 3rd grade, and a newer friend, doing pretty much everything together. They open up about their physical limits with ease. They knew Maliyah would need a kidney transplant because they shared a kidney, which she accessed through their shared liver split during separation surgery. Their mother donated one of hers not long after they were separated. Maliyah received a second kidney transplant in May 2018. Dad Jake was not a match, but he donated one of his kidneys as part of a chain in which a family member donates to a match in another family, who then donates to a match in still another family. Several families can be involved in a chain. The sisters joke that half of their family, which includes 2 brothers, Austin and Justin, sister Courtney, and nephew Ezra, each has one kidney. Maliyah underwent heart surgery, and both daughters underwent surgeries to install and later replace titanium rods in their backs, as well as lesser treatments to modify the rods as they grew. Kendra had surgery to place a plate in her femur to straighten her leg and make it point forward, and surgeons eventually replaced it with a larger plate. Much of what happened was unexpected, such as the time Maliyah broke her back rod while hopping on one leg at a bridal shower. When it comes to finding your own voice, nothing beats personal experience. Kendra and Maliyah had considered sharing their story with schoolchildren for some time, when a woman at a YouTube convention asked if they'd film a video about bullying and inclusiveness for a project called Orange Socks. They're still working on the specifics. Number 14. Pan and Pin Romphoyen, like any other 9-year-olds, enjoy playing, eating ice cream, laughing, arguing, fighting and crying. They each have their own emotions and goals, but what sets them apart is the fact that they share legs. The Siamese twins Pin and Pan are Siamese twins that were born connected at the waist and find it impossible to stand and walk without help. So they've learnt to crawl crab-like by using their hands as support. Pin oversees her right foot, while Pan, her older sister, is in charge of her left. They get where they want to by working together. The twins are raised by their grandparents in a Bangkok suburb. Even though their bodies are connected, their personalities, appearances, and preferences are distinct. Pan prefers short hair, while Pin prefers long hair, which is only one of their many differences. They are well liked and admired by their classmates and professors, and they are fully welcomed despite their differences. A homemade walker can help children cope with school activities, while also assisting them when they need to go a longer distance. On the back of her motorcycle, their grandmother drives them to school every day and picks them up in the afternoon. They finish their homework and assist with some housework before riding their tricycle and playing with their neighborhood buddies. The family receives lodging from Pakon Sawan Panyanakul underprivileged school and earns a tiny sum of money serving food and beverages at the school. Other sources of revenue include charitable organizations and private donations. The family has been urged by a doctor to have an operation to separate the twins, but it is a high-risk procedure. Pin and Pan both express a desire to remain together. Conjoined twins who are physically attached and joined in gestation are a very unusual occurrence, with 1 in every 50,000 to 200,000 live births being reported. Number 13. Krista and Tatiana Hogan have abilities that no one else has. They share the perceptions of touch and taste, as well as the ability to manipulate one another's limbs. Krista can see out of one of Tatiana's eyes, and Tatiana can see out of the other. Tatiana oversees 3 arms and a leg, while Krista is in charge of 3 legs and an arm. They have distinct personalities. One is a confident young lady, while the other is a sensitive soul. But they have something in common that no one else on the planet has ever had. Krista and Tatiana are Craniopagus twins, meaning they have the same skull. A thalamic bridge connects their brains, acting as a switchboard for transferring sensory and motor signals and controlling consciousness. This implies that their 2 different brains can act as if they were one. They can sit there for hours without saying anything to one another, and then one of them will appear and grab something to eat for the other. There are no words exchanged between them at all, and they know exactly what the other wants. You can tickle one and get a laugh from the other. If you pinch one, the other will weep along with her, as if she were experiencing the same thing. The twins were given a 20% chance of life when they were born, and it took 16 medics to bring them into the world safely. They can't be separated according to a CT scan, because there's a risk of significant harm or death. Their organs are separate, but their circulatory systems are linked, with blood flowing from one female to the other. The girls are diabetics with epilepsy who must follow a strict medication regimen and have regular blood testing. They can, however, attend school for a few hours each day and enjoy swimming, camping, and video games. They're simply ordinary people going about their daily lives like the rest of us. Tatiana has risen to become the twins' more prominent leader over time. She used to refer to herself as the Red Power Ranger, aka Jason, when she was little. Krista is a quieter person who prefers to be alone. There is no one else on the planet who is as connected as they are. Number 12. Carmen and Lupita Andrade are identical twins with a stronger bond than most. When they were born in Mexico in 2002, they were conjoined from the chest to the pelvis and given only 3 days to live. They're still here, 18 years later, because they each have 2 arms but only 1 leg. Carmen is in charge of the right and Lupita is in charge of the left. Their hearts, lungs, and stomachs are separate, yet they share a liver, circulatory, reproductive, and digestive system. They spent years in physical therapy as children, learning how to walk and get around by working together. They have beaten the odds by living to an age of 18 and now have a decent chance of living to be elderly. Their personalities are vastly different. Carmen is more outgoing, whilst Lupita is more reserved. They both want to work with animals in some capacity, perhaps as veterinarians. Carmen and Lupita are outliers. Conjoined twins account for about 1 in every 200,000 live births, with most of them dying soon after birth or stillborn. Doctors felt that separating them when they were young would be too dangerous because they share so many important organs, and they don't see why anyone would want to split them up right now. Number 11. Conjoined twins Ganga and Jamuna Mondal have finally found love with the same man, after a lifetime of lonely nights on the road with a touring circus. The Spider sisters, who are 45 years old, have been single their entire lives and have faced years of rejection due to their odd appearance. They say they're happier than ever now, thanks to a chance encounter with Jasimuddin Ahmad, a kind-hearted school teacher. They met Ahmad while he worked part-time with the circus as a sound engineer after years of touring with the circus, and were astonished to realize he shared their feelings. The twins were born to a poor family and share a stomach, but have distinct hearts, kidneys, and livers. Their parents couldn't afford medical treatment and abandoned them when they were teenagers, believing they were a symbol of God's wrath. They joined a touring circus, where they performed for audiences all throughout India, despite having no formal schooling. They were paid a decent £25 per night, but after years on the road they began to tire. It was then that they first saw Ahmad, 36, a sound engineer who worked part-time for the circus, and were taken aback to learn he shared their views. He now sits with them every night and they share their meals. They occasionally listen to music and converse late into the night. Because they come from a traditional background, the twins are understandably private about their personal lives, but they do admit to having been intimate. Their love, like many of the best partnerships, is focused mostly on friendship and enjoyment. The trio has been together for 7 months and currently resides in a village near Kolkata. Ahmad works at a local school and often drives the sisters to performances in the evenings. Despite their love, they have no intention of marrying because they believe it will be frowned upon by the community. The sisters were escorted to visit a physician about the potential of being separated, but they turned it down, knowing it would jeopardize their lives and take away their livelihood. For the time being, they are content with the love and companionship they have sought for so long, and they intend to do so for as long as it lasts. Number 10. After surviving an 11-hour head separation, a pair of twin girls attracted the world's attention and are now healthy 2-year-olds. Herrin and Abby Delaney both weighed 2 pounds and 1 ounce when they were born. Doctors noticed the twins were linked at the head when Heather Delaney was 11 weeks pregnant. Heather and Riley Delaney sought advice from the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia on their children's separation procedure. Herrin and Abby Delaney, now 2 years old, were born as identical twins. The most uncommon variety is being conjoined at the head, which occurs around 6 times in every 10 million births. What's more unusual is the Delaney twins were completely united, with their bond extending deep into the brain tissue. Doctors were concerned because they shared a superior sagittal sinus, a big conduit that transports blood from the brain to the heart. Over the course of several months in the hospital, Herrin and Abby had physical, occupational, and speech therapy. After 435 days in the hospital, Herrin was released. She and her mum lived at the Ronald McDonald House in Philadelphia until Abby was released a month later. Before Thanksgiving in 2017, the family returned to North Carolina altogether. Number 9. Erica and Ava Sandoval, who were once conjoined twins, were separated in a 17-hour surgery in December 2016 and are now healthy 5-year-olds who are thriving in kindergarten. They're engrossed in regular 5-year-old activities. They are learning their numbers and enjoying kinetic sand, finger puppets, and Barbie dolls to entertain themselves. The girls, who are often chatty, have started bringing large words home from school. They came home talking about bee anatomy after a lecture about bees, using words like abdomen and thorax. Ava and Erica were left with only one leg apiece after the separation, and their medical team was unsure how much mobility they would regain. Their surgeon wasn't sure they'd be able to sit unaided at first. They've made significant progress. The twins have progressed from sitting to using wheelchairs to being equipped with personalized prostheses last year. Both girls now use a combination of prosthetic legs and walkers to go about. They can even walk in their prostheses without the use of walkers if they have a hand to grip. The long-term goal is for them to be able to balance and support themselves with their prostheses and walking sticks. Erica enjoys putting on her prosthetic and going for a walk around the home. Ava and Erica like looking at images of themselves when they were younger and listening to their parents' stories about life before they were separated. Number 8. Balani and Belani are doing well more than a year after being separated from being conjoined twins. They're happy, healthy, and outperforming expectations as they reach growth milestones that were unthinkable at birth. Their sacrum, a triangular bone at the base of their spine, had gastrointestinal, urinary, neurologic, and orthopedic connections, and the twins shared a branch of the hypogastric artery, the main blood supply to the pelvic region, hips, thighs, and reproductive organs. It took more than 50 medical specialists from the hospital to perform the 21-hour surgery. Number 7. Despite the risk of death during the procedure, conjoined twins linked at the forehead have completed testing to begin the process of separating them. Joy and Joyce Magsino, both 10, were born in the Philippines with angular frontal partial craniopagus. Their family is desperate for them to live regular lives and is willing to risk losing one of them or both in the process. They were informed they'd need £75,000 for the life-changing surgery. but Patrick Maxino, 30, and Jomari Maxino, 30, had little hope of getting the money on their own. Their parents claimed that a local charity volunteered to pay for the girls' medical treatment at the time of their birth, but they stopped aiding in 2014 after doctors warned the operation could kill them. New photos of the twins have been released, showing them undergoing testing in a hospital in San Juan, located east of Manila, in preparation for the separation surgery. His wife has even left to work in another country to make ends meet, leaving the girls in the care of relatives. It's unclear how they've managed to cover the costs of the costly procedure. Let's hope the operation goes well. Number 6. Twins Michaela and Abigail were born with their heads joined, a condition known as craniopagus twins. Conjoined twins are uncommon enough, but craniopagus twins are rarer. Only 2% of conjoined twins are born with their heads fused together. Craniopagus twins are found in about 1 out of every 2.5 million births. When Maliyah was 11 weeks pregnant, she received the news that she was expecting conjoined twins. Michaela and Abigail were born on December 30th, 2019. They stayed in the neonatal intensive care unit for 7 weeks before returning home. At the age of 9 months, surgeons chose to separate the conjoined twins. They didn't want to have to wait any longer. There is a greater chance of shared blood arteries and organs getting larger or more entangled as they get older. The forthcoming flu season, as well as COVID-19 and RSV, were also a cause of concern. The surgical team spent months watching the twins grow through MRIs and CT scans to prepare for the procedure. Abigail and Michaela, both 9 months old, were successfully separated in lengthy surgery. The 24-hour surgery was performed in a specially designed operating room for this type of procedure. More than 30 experts were on the team, including surgeons, nurses, anaesthetists, and other critical surgical personnel. Abigail and Michaela are doing well and recuperating thanks to a fantastic staff, dedicated to giving these extremely uncommon twins the greatest chance for a healthy future. Number 5. Abigail and Isabel Carlson were born conjoined twins, but they now live as 2 separate people, even though they are inseparable in terms of their link. The twins were born attached through their chest and stomach for the first 6 months of their life, until a Mayo Clinic team of surgeons decided to try and separate them in 2006. The twins have been separated for 12 years and appear to have developed 2 distinct personalities that show daily. Because of how they were able to survive the separation, they were dubbed miracle babies. It was one of the most complicated cases in medical history, and many doctors would have walked away from it. The surgery lasted 12 hours and required the joint efforts of 17 surgeons. They were released from the hospital 2 weeks later. Jesse and Amy Carlson will be eternally thankful to the men and women who saved their children's lives and allowed them to live a normal life. Even though Abigail and Isabel have no recollection of being connected, they agreed to have some peculiarities. They stated, for example, that every time they go to the mall, they grasp each other's hands. Even though they are twins and were born the same way, Abigail and Isabel dislike being mistaken for one another and admit to looking in the mirror and wondering why people can't tell them apart. The twins' larger-than-life personas gave them an advantage when it came to making friends, and their teacher revealed they were friends with everyone. Abigail and Isabel will return to the Mayo Clinic for another checkup, as they have done every couple of years since the astonishingly successful surgery. Number 4. Sivanath and Shivram Sahu, who have recently turned 18, are conjoined twins who say they have no regrets about declining the possibility to be split. After a video of them washing and dressing themselves was widely circulated online in 2014, the two came to the attention of the international community. Following this, multiple doctors approached the twins, who were linked at the waist and share 2 legs and 4 arms, and offered to separate them apart. But the pair is adamant about staying together. They are now believed to be too old for the procedure, but they're overjoyed with their choice. They are thought to share a stomach, but their lungs, hearts, and brains are all separate. They have mastered all their essential daily activities, including showering, eating, getting dressed and combing each other's hair with no fuss. They can walk down the stairs of their split-level home and even sprint on all 6 limbs to play cricket and other games with the kids next door. They're also gifted academically, ranking among the best pupils at their local school, much to their adoring father's delight. Number 3. Maliyah and Ndaye, like any other 4-year-olds, are adjusting to school life. The fact they are alive at all is a miracle. When the conjoined twins were born, doctors believed they wouldn't last more than a few days. They're now learning to walk and beginning their educational pursuits. Maliyah and Ndaye, who are 4 years and 9 months old, have begun primary school and are learning to stand and walk with the assistance of staff. They're making a lot of friends over there, and it's fun to watch them engaging and socialize with everyone. Doctors subsequently determined that the girls' circulatory systems are inextricably linked, making separation impossible for their infant. Maliyah gets oxygen from her sister's stronger heart and suffers from a variety of issues that make it difficult for her to exercise. Every day they've demonstrated their tenacity and a genuine desire to be part of society. Along with school, the children visit a hospice for children on a weekly basis. Therapists at the hospice have started the process of assisting Maliyah and Ndaye learn to stand and walk by using a walking frame. Number 2. Arthur and Herrin were born as twins, united at the waist and sharing only 3 legs. They were also attached internally at the bladder, intestines, liver, and genitals. The brothers from Bahia, Brazil have a remarkable closeness as they prepare for life-changing separation surgery. The twins, who have spent most of their lives at the hospital in Goiânia, like playing together and have recorded sweet video messages for their thousands of fans on social media. They are, however, looking forward to being on their own, playing their own games, and doing things on their own. The lads have had 15 surgeries to generate extra skin using silicone expanders inserted in and around their midsection during the previous 5 years. They were also dealing with several infections and needed to be close to a hospital for treatment. The surgeons fought to split the babies' bodies into 2 bodies as quickly as possible. The surgery was fraught with dangers. Separating the twins was complicated by the fact that many of their organs, including the intestines and liver, had to be divided. First, the brothers' limbs were divided, and then surgeons worked on dividing the liver. Hater was alert and responding well 2 days following surgery. Arthur, on the other hand, was barely awake since he was weak and suffering from a fever. Tragically, Arthur died of a heart attack 3 days later. Unfortunately, Arthur was suffering from a severe inflammatory condition. He didn't respond well to the drug and died as a result. Number 1. Herrin and Yigit were linked at the head, and their parents were warned if they did nothing, the boys' lives would be cut short. Experts warned, however, that the twins might not survive the operation. The twins were sent to the UK after Turkish doctors contacted orthopedic surgeons at the Great Ormond Street Hospital. They had 3 procedures. The separation required more than 40 hours of surgery and a team of more than 100 medical personnel. The twins, who will turn 2, have been separated. They finally got to the stage where the retractor went in, and they were raising one of the brains after more than 20 hours of surgery. It was nearly entirely separated from the other brain. When the 2 brains were divided, there was a visible separation between them. The family was permitted to travel back home after the boys' heads were reconstructed and were given many months to heal from the operation. The parents of the twins were overjoyed with the operation and the fact their children were healthy again. I must say, all these children were amazing, so I don't have a favourite. Why don't you let us know what you think in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 15 of the most unbelievable babies that are real. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.